It's CZ and Mr. Truck up in Poudre Canyon in the mountains reviewing another, what is this thing called? Is it a truck or?
It's a mini truck.
A mini truck. We are in a mini truck. But this is a Hyundai. This is the first Hyundai I've ever driven. So it's a new experience for me. It's called the Santa Cruz. It's called an adventure sport something or other. They don't call it trucks, but anyway, it's, what did I say it
Adventure sport vehicles.
Okay.
What you said, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of explains really what it is. It's for you to go have fun, you know, take your surfboards and your bicycles and all that stuff up here and have fun with it.
Yeah.
But we're reviewing it today, and it's got an 8-speed. It's a dual clutch. So it's very similar to an automatic. They have their own way of doing it, and this is the all-wheel drive version. And it's even got a locker differential in the middle. You know, they call it middle differential. To me, it's a transfer case, but that's a different way of transferring power. So you can take it out in the snow. I don't think you can go real deep snow, but this might get you to work. But you know, it's not made for much more than hauling your lawnmower, your barbecue.
It's a little bit at a time, yeah.
Yeah, and it has a cool tonneau cover. We're going to show you that. It's actually pretty well equipped. This thing's got heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel.
Yep.
I think it's got adaptive cruise control. I'll have to look at that. But also has, you know, all the normal toys.
All the
power
cameras.
seats. Yeah, it's got cameras. And it's actually a really loaded one. So we'll give you more details on that. Now, how much?
All right.
How much power does this Santa Cruz have in a 4-cylinder turbo 2.5?
281 horsepower.
Okay.
The torque is 311.
Oh, cool. Well, that's what it is, and you know, we'll go over the features. It's actually pretty well loaded. So we're gonna go in the back, grab the bumper, try to flip it over. You know, like flipping cows. Is that what it's called? Maybe we'll flip cows. Or else you can flip this thing over.
We're gonna try.
So join us for the review. Now we're gonna start doing things a little different here on these videos. I get a lot of emails. People call me up and ask me questions about trucks, trailers, and accessories. And I end up answering them, you know, in emails, and I think we ought to do it on our videos. So if you have a question for me about a truck, trailer, or accessory, something that you need help with, just give me an email. Send me an email to Kent at KENT@MrTruck.com. And then I'll answer them at the end of these videos. I'm going to answer one at the end of this video. I know you guys are all out there tipping cows over, but I want to tip over a Santa Cruz. I love this bumper. This is so cool. You just like the Avalanche or most of Chevy trucks. This is so important. I wish my truck, actually, I bought a bumper for my truck, for my Ford, like this.
The little
That's cool.
steps in there, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if we grab it right here,
Okay.
or somewhere, and then try to flip it over. Ready?
Yeah.
Go!
Oh man.
You raised 3,000 pounds. You weren't lifting
We
much.
almost had it. We almost had it.
I think I was better at pushing it down than I was lifting it up. Oh well. Yeah, it's got a strap, and that's what that's all about. And close that puppy up. And then I'm going to get over here and watch you do all that. Go ahead and lower the tailgate.
All right. So there's a button there, and it kind of just comes down itself.
It's dampened too, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
It didn't drop like a rock.
And then you just gotta flick that up there, and that pushes back.
And man, it's got side railing there to tie down whatever you want to put in here. And it's got lights, and it's got little tiny compartments on the side. I'm not sure, but how come that thing's got a crease on the floor? What's on the floor?
Where?
See how it's got a cutout?
Oh yeah. This here?
Yeah.
Not
Wonder if that lifts up.
Oh, open.
Oh, it says open. Oh, cool. Oh, we got a trunk, man.
Oh, we got a little more storage.
Well, cool. It's got a plug, so you can actually fill it full of ice and put your favorite milk or orange juice in there.
Uh-huh.
Do you think you can climb in there?
No. I'm scared too.
Well, on the Ridgeline, I had some grandchildren climb in there. They loved it.
Climb in there?
Yeah, but this is not as big as the Ridgeline.
Yeah,
okay,
that would be a nice little cooler.
Yeah. I can only get one leg in there. Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
See what these are?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's equipped like it really could haul some cargo. It just lacks some space. That's pretty deep.
It's a little compartment.
Put your fireworks in there.
Yeah, hide something in there.
Cool.
MrTruck.tv. We'll be right back.
So isn't that cool with the step and the bumper?
Bumper.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you got in there. Cool. Well, you almost pole vault right over the top of that thing. Hey, let's see if you fit in the back seat of this monster truck.
Okay. It's very tight fit.
Oh, there your feet are. I was trying to find them.
Yeah.
Well, you got a little room. My friend, the mechanic, Ruben, car transmission, his leg was touching both seats.
And
wow. So, what do you think? Can you get him any more legs in there?
If you were a little taller, I would probably want to fit in there.
Yeah, well, this is Ruben from Colorado Transmission.
Hello.
And really, man. So, you have no
tall,
thigh
but-
support either. But yeah. And how about headroom? You got headroom in this thing.
you have headroom, yep.
Yeah, I didn't bring my cowboy hat because I didn't think I'd have any room in here, but I guess there is. Okay, cool. Right there you go.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Jack.
Yeah, you got a little room. Let's go look on the other side. Maybe a buried treasure over there.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's a half seat. Oh, that's
Another
pretty
little
deeper. Yeah, it's got a little more room.
Bucket in there.
Yeah, awesome. There it is, 2.5 turbo. They even put the lid on straight so you can see it from the side. Cool. Big snorkels. You know, the headlights are really cool on this Santa Cruz. I should have took pictures of them when it was dark because they really look awesome on the front of this. There's a bunch of them, LEDs all over the place. Now the Santa Cruz is growing on me. I like the looks of it because it reminds me of the El Caminos and all those kind of things we had in the old days. But it's sharp looking. It looks sporty. I guess you'd call it sporty is what I'll call it.
This Santa Cruz, if you look really carefully right there, it's got 1,411 payload, which is quite a bit actually.
People and the trailer, and that's not a bad way to do it. So
No.
you got enough payload left over, you can haul your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Well, looky here, this big back windows. At least it's manual. I like that. My hand fits through it, and that's about it. I suppose that would give you the airflow you might want. Oh man, I love these mountains. We're back on Poudre Canyon. With what in tarnation are we driving today?
Mini truck.
A mini.
A very mini truck.
Yeah, when I was back in the 70s in high school, we had those mini trucks. We had, I had a Chevy Love, which is a light utility vehicle, and that was made, I think, by Isuzu. It was a Chevy product made by Isuzu. Ford had the Courier, which was made by Mazda, a little mini truck. Ram had a D50. And what else did they have? Anyway, that's kind of, then of course Toyota and Nissan had their little trucks. Some diesels are not, but I always call them miniaturized wheelbarrows because they were so small. And they were even smaller than this. I mean, this seems small, but this has a 4-foot bed. Those had maybe a 5-foot bed. Some had a 4, but none of them had extended cab. Well, actually, Nissan had a king cab. That makes sense. That's what it was. Yeah. Toyota just called everything truck back then. Everything was a truck. That's the only truck. That's the only name it had. But then everybody else, they all had single cabs. Crew cabs didn't come out for much later. I mean, like the Ranger, what came from the Courier, it had some super cabs, but hardly any crew cabs back then. I mean, I like them now. This comes with a crew cab, and this is the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and it's a limited. It's an all-wheel drive, and we'll talk more about it. But it's it's got a 4.5 inline 4 with a turbo. So goose it anytime you
race
want. See if
car.
this, yeah, see if this thing goes. Let's see, pull me back in the seat. Well, that's not bad. That's probably as good as a lot of SUVs do.
Oh no, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it zipped right along. You're starting to like this already, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, it is. It's a little truck and a little truck. And actually, Hyundai does not call it a little truck. They call it a sport adventure vehicle.
Sport truck.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a SAV, whatever that is. A SAV. It's a SAV. But this is pretty cool because it's actually got a locking differential. Not a locking differential. It's got a locking center diff, which is kind of like a transfer case, but different than locking the axles. And I'll show you all those buttons. It's a loaded puppy. It's got heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, power everything, power seat. So it's pretty loaded, but it's also pretty expensive. You can buy 2 base Mavericks for one of these, but this is pretty loaded. So it's I actually like the look of it. I mean, let's stare at it while you've just seen it today, but it's starting to grow on me. It looks a little bit like a Lexus to me. It looks like a lot of different things.
Yeah, it does remind me of a Lexus a little bit.
But it's a unibody, so there's no frame. It's got subframes for the axles, but this is it reminds me a lot of like the Subaru Baja, if you've ever seen one of those.
I don't think I've seen one of those before.
Yeah, then they used to have a Brat a long time ago. It had 2 seats in the back.
Okay.
And then, it kind of reminds me of a miniaturized Chevy El Camino, or the Avalanche is the same kind of look to it.
The Avalanche, definitely.
Yeah, because it's all like one piece. The Honda Ridgeline is built similarly. It's a little wider, a little bigger, but they tried to hide the fact that it's that it's one piece cab and bed. So they put a little line behind the cab, so you somehow imagine that there's a separation when there's not. But this one, it's obviously like an Avalanche. There's no separation. But and then in Australia they have that Holden Commodore, which looks a lot like this, and might even be similar to size to this. But anyway, looking at all the tests on this, it's supposed to go 130 miles an hour. How fast can you get it up to?
Probably not that high on these curves here, but
Probably not.
it says 160 on the speedometer here.
Well, then how in the world do you get to 130? That's 160?
Yeah.
Holy cow, 160 miles an hour?
160.
Now, you're going to love it. I'm going to show pictures of it. When you turn on a blinker,
Yeah.
the dash shows you.
I did notice that.
Did you see that? Isn't that cool? I guess the speedometer lights up.
That's a really nice feature.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what the Chevy has with their giant screen in the middle. And everything's digital on this. I don't think there's hardly a button on here except for like the heated seats and steering wheel. But that's another
I feel
thing.
like this car has a pretty bad blind spot though, so I think that might be.
Yeah, that's
kind of
true.
necessary.
I think you're right, because back by that second row of seats, there's that Avalanche-looking little area there.
Slope.
That's it's called the ABC pillar. The C pillar, yeah, it's part of, and that's all for looks. They always try to make things look cool. And actually, I think the interior looks cool. And this has got 20-inch wheels on this little baby truck. 20-inch wheels. That's incredible. This particular model is a limited, so it is loaded, and I like those wheels. I mean, it fits with the wheel well really well. A lot of these vehicles don't know how to do that, but this one certainly does. But anyway, and I want to show the headlights on this because they all light up all over the place. The headlights are pretty awesome. Don't let me forget that. We got all this stuff to do to this puppy.
They're not going to blind me though, are they? Coming down the road at me?
Well,
I
no,
feel like a lot
this,
of those.
Yeah, this actually has the automatic dimming lights.
Okay.
I was trying that out last night. That's just pretty cool.
Nice.
And it's got a shifter here, which is so cool. I'm not sure what this camera, I think, is a front camera. Probably won't let me turn it on until we slow down. But it's got camera buttons. We're going to go through all that. It's got a phone charger. I don't like the screen buttons. I like a real knob or a button I can twist or hang on to. Because Colorado roads are crap. We're bouncing all over the place, and you're trying to get your finger on a screen.
They're pretty touchy.
Yeah, usually you'll hit 2 screens, or you hit the wrong one. And I was doing that all day yesterday. Trying to just mess with the volume. I ended up messing with the heat. Trying to mess with the radio, and I ended up getting an AM station. Not because I wanted to, but yeah. And it's an 8-speed. I think all these are 8 speeds, but this one, the all-wheel drive one, is a dual clutch system, kind of like Mercedes uses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's better or worse. I got to sometime interview my mechanic and have him explain it to me. But that's getting to be a European thing, a double clutch thing. But you know, so it's got a double clutch instead of a torque converter, so it's still basically an automatic. There's at least 2 trucks in there, which means it beats the payload of the Maverick from Ford. But $41,540, that would be tough for me. I can buy full-size trucks, you know, maybe stripped down.
Yeah.
But you can get a lot of truck for $40,000.
For that much, yeah.
But where this really shines for me, it would be like a Walmart parking lot. Because my truck, even my truck is just a 150. It's not easy to get the doors open without hitting something.
Fits in there. Really.
Oh, I know. And dualies are impossible. And then the 8-foot beds are impossible. You got to park at the filling station next door to go to Walmart anymore. But this one will go anywhere. And that's how the Maverick was. I took it to Vegas, to SEMA. I could park places you wouldn't believe.
Squeeze in there.
Yeah, I got free parking all the time. Nobody knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
But that's how this would be. This would be excellent to park. And there's a lot of people in the city don't need a giant bed or a big payload or tow big trailers. But this thing's rated 5,000 pounds of towing in the all-wheel drive version with the turbo, which is quite a bit for this size. I don't think the Maverick's up that high, but that's pretty incredible. But I don't know. I can't pull it. They didn't put a hitch on this one. I really was looking forward to that, trying out 5,000 pounds. And two, because as narrow as this is, you know, I was going to pull my car trailer, which is 8.5 feet wide, which probably would put a little bit of a pendulum action on it. But with the right sway control, I think we could do it. I was going to do it. I was going to see how good you were. That's what we was going to do. But no hitch, no trailer. It's kind of how it goes.
That's a bummer.
Yep, it is.
I bet the gas mileage is good on this.
Well, yeah, on the highway it's 27. Which is pretty darn good, but it's not like fantastic. I mean, you know, of course, the Maverick's a hybrid, and that can get way up in the 40s in the city, and that's just like that King Ranch we had last week, and I'm still doing some things with it. It is 24 in the city, 24 on the highway, and 24 in the city, that beats everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you're doing a lot of city driving. This one is 19 in the city, it's 22 combined. But yeah, I mean, it all depends. If you want the space in your garage, if you want to be able to park in Walmart, if you're only going to haul a lawnmower, maybe some firewood, you know, I mean, it's a usable vehicle. And I think it's 4-wheel independent. I'm going to put a camera under it, because I think it is. And there's coils on the back. They say they're self-adjusting. I'm not sure what that means. I hope it means that they're progressive springs where they get closer together as you go up to work for a heavier load, or a ton weight, a 5,000 pound trailer. That's 500 pound ton weight. So they got to do something back there, but I haven't figured it out. I don't think it's got any kind of air shock on it or an airbag. But self-leveling, I've got to find out what that means. And if you folks know what self-leveling on this Santa Cruz means, let me know. Let us know in the comments, because we're still learning about all this stuff. Like, there's a button on the dash. See that button right there?
Diffuse.
Now, what the heck does that diffuse mean?
Not sure.
I have no idea what diffuse.
So you have to open up the manual.
Yeah, we'll have to read the manual someday. But anyway, you folks let us know what diffuse means, and we're going to figure this mid-sized, compact, mini truck, whatever you want to call it. And I don't care if you call it a truck or not. I mean, it's got a bed on it. It's not a big deal. People have this thing like it's a religion. It's just a truck. It's just a bed. It's just a cab. Drive it, use it. Don't get bent out of shape on it. But that's just my theory. What do you think? You think it's a truck, or do you think it's just a car?
It's a mini truck.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's got a tailgate. It's the tonneau
I'd
cover.
call it a mini truck.
Yeah, the roll-up tonneau cover on this, I really like the roll-up type. They roll into a little pocket, but the pocket on this, because it's only a 4-foot bed, is very small. So you can take that out, and that'd be the easiest thing to do. But you know, for real small loads that you never need more room, I mean, even putting a 4-wheeler in here, I think you'd have to pull that tonneau cover and bracket the whole thing out. Hi, it's Kent with MrTruck.com. Another review, a product review for trucks. And this time it's Roadmaster Active Suspension. Now, I've heard about this for years and years and years. A lot of my friends have them. They all bragged about them. But I didn't understand how you could put a half a spring on half of a leaf and how that would work. But now I know how it works against the shackle, the hinge of your leaf spring, and how that tightens it up and controls the leaf, which is what. So it's kind of like an anti-sway bar. It does a lot of things to control the motion back there. And you don't want a whole lot of motion back there, especially with an empty truck. Where you're on a loaded truck, you want to control that, but an empty truck is really squirrely. You need a lot of control there. You just saw the Roadmaster controlling the factory leaf spring. And that's what it does. It controls it during a wheel hop when the axle's trying to bounce and then go sideways on you. Controls the axle wrap, which is the drive shaft, universal joints and the pinion, all torquing too much angle because of the leaf springs turn into like a big S. It actually bends the factory leaf springs going through axle wrap, and just shows you just how easy it is to install. It's very quick installation. I think I did it in 30 minutes. And then in here it shows, you know, how I installed it. You install it to the eye in the front. The part goes underneath the leaf springs, and this part cups back over by the shackle, the hinge. Okay, for today's truck question, it comes from Evan. He's looking to buy in a 2017 Chevy Silverado 2500, the 6-liter V8 with 410 rear end. It's the Midnight Edition. Doesn't have factory tow mirrors, but that's easy to add to them. And when we looked it up, it looked like it would tow 14,000. Well, that sounds about right. I mean, that's actually, my brother had that combination. He did really well. The 410 was the secret to that. And, you know, that transmission in that one's the same 6-speed they put in them now, which was very good. And that's why they never went to any more gears than a 6, because of how dependable that transmission was. But he's going to trade in his EcoBoost and his 2018 EcoBoost, which is what I have. That's actually the first year all the EcoBoosts had 10-speed. But, you know, and then your trader, if you're going to be towing that much, you know, 12 to 14,000, that certainly doesn't sound a bad combination to me. He's also talking about looking at power wagons and all that. Power wagons are a lot of fun for off-road, but they don't have much of a tow rating. I don't know if it's 8,000. I have to look it up. But I think you're on the right track there. I would go with that 2017 2500 with that 410 gear. I wish they had them now. Now they're 373. Good combination though. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you at the gas station.